Okay, welcome to today's class. Today we're looking at the Secret History, chapter 3, and we're looking at the vocabulary in this chapter. So it's quite interesting. So the very first sentence, I think, was, "From the moment I first set foot in Hampton College, I had begun to dread the end of term." So set foot in is a very common collocation, and it's very often seen with "you first set foot in a certain place," yeah? Or maybe with never as well. "I have never set foot in, I don't know, a chip shop," yeah? I've been to the chip shop many times, but maybe you haven't. And so maybe you have never set foot in a fish and chip shop. So set foot in, yeah, you could say perhaps we first set foot on the moon, yeah, in the 1960s, maybe. And then the next part, "I've begun to dread," to fear, yeah, to fear or to dread the end of term. That would be a synonym for dread. It's a very common word. Okay, "In recent years, they," and he means my parents, Richard's parents, "in recent years, Richard's parents had fallen in with the McNatts." Now, I think this is a really interesting phrasal verb to use because you usually fall in with a bad crowd. And you're normally talking about your kids and not about your parents. Yeah, you might say that your son has fallen in with a bad crowd and now he's misbehaving, something like that. They are a bad influence on him. That's how you usually use this word. But it is reversed in this particular book, and we're using it, or Richard's using it, to explain that his parents have fallen in with a bad crowd, the McNatts. And I find it quite interesting, the dynamic with his parents, because his parents seem to want to also have their group of friends and not be with anybody else, even their own son. Okay, the two of them, and this is Bunny and Henry, the two of them had been out of sorts for months. So this is an interesting phrase. If you are out of sorts, you're not behaving as you usually do. You might be out of sorts because you are sick, perhaps, and that's what makes you out of sorts. But very often there's something on your mind, something like that, yeah? Something that's bothering you, some kind of problem that you have. Bunny enjoyed rubbing salt in my wounds. This is a very old idiom, yeah, and if you rub salt into somebody's wound, somebody's injury, then you are making the pain much worse, yeah, you're making the pain even worse by putting salt into the wound. It stings. And we really use this to mean gloat or goad. These are two good verbs. They've got a very negative meaning. Yeah, if you gloat over somebody's misfortune, and that's usually what you gloat over, and I would use it with the preposition over, gloat over somebody's sadness or somebody's suffering or somebody's misfortune. It means you take pleasure and laugh about somebody else's bad luck or whatever bad thing has happened to them. You take pleasure in it. So it's a bad word, yeah, it's gloat over somebody's misfortune. You usually goad people, yeah, and that's the difference between these two words. Even though they're similar, they are different. And goad is more like tease. When you tease somebody, you enjoy saying things to hurt that person or make them feel uncomfortable or make them get upset. Yeah, and so Bunny does this a lot in this book, certainly. He likes goading people, certainly. And here he's actually gloating. He's gloating because Bunny is gloating that he's going on holiday. He is going to Italy with Henry, whereas Richard is staying in Hampton College. And Bunny seems to know this. You know, he seems to even know that he will be cold in the period when he's at Hampton College, because it's one of the first things he says when he writes a postcard to him. "Are you frozen?" I remember that, and I thought, how does he know that so much about Richard? Bunny was gloating that he was going to Italy, but Richard would be staying there and not going anywhere. Okay, so this stoicism, this Henry-like dedication to my studies and general contempt for the things of this world won me admiration from all sides. So first thing to note is that we can put like on the end of a name, and we mean, like Henry, similar to Henry. This similar to Henry dedication to my studies.